So I came downstairs, and lo and behold, guess who was there at the bar?
That's how we do it in the South.
What's going on, guys? And welcome to Rabbit's Used Cars. You know, it's crazy, the whirlwind of life right now. And, sitting here today thinking about what we're going to talk about. And I'm like, why not share just a brief experience of my past weekend? It's still so surreal, some of the things that are happening, So I got invited to a film festival in El Paso because of the Netflix show. And shameless plug, Tex-Mex Motors is still doing phenomenal on Netflix right now, even a month in, which is great. So I got invited back to El Paso to do a Q&A session on the show. Me and Scooter, producer from the show, was there. We had a great time staying at the plaza right there in downtown El Paso. Gorgeous place, great restaurants. And, it's crazy, the whirlwind, like I was saying, though. It's crazy the experiences I get to have because guys like you watching this stuff and just how far this has went from, shooting YouTube videos in Ed Bollion's creepy warehouse to, shooting a show for Netflix or doing any of this stuff, but now getting the invites. And like right now, my schedule is in full swing. Matter of fact, literally, actually, by the time you see this, I'll be in Miami. So every weekend now, between now and the first week of December, it's just like boom, boom, boom. But it was really cool. We had a great time at the film festival. El Paso is extremely supportive of the new show. A lot of you guys came out from down there, and I love it. I love talking to you guys, meeting everybody. I actually got to watch the first episode of the show at the film festival, and that was fun. The Q&A and all the questions asked. It was really fun to give some insight in the show and some background. And so, like I said, Scooter's there. Scooter's a hell of a character, on and off the camera. But anyway, we were there, and like I said, we were staying at the plaza, and this film festival's huge. This thing went on for like 10 days, and had a lot of stars from movies and just wild stuff over the years. And so when I checked into the hotel, and I walk up to the front desk, and the lady was telling me, she said, yes, and Helen Hunt is actually staying on your floor. And we're talking about Helen Hunt from Twister and Mad About You and tons of other movies, good as it gets. And I'm like, man, I had the biggest crush on Helen Hunt when I was a kid. Back in the Twister days and all that stuff. And we were joking about it. And I was actually joking with my producer about it. He's like, oh man, that's crazy. Whatever. So we did our Q&A thing and all that stuff. And she was working another part of the festival apparently because I never saw her. Well, that night we all went out to dinner. And we went to this gorgeous steakhouse called 1700 there in El Paso. It was phenomenal, the food was. And so after dinner, everybody kind of broke off and done their own thing. And the producer texts me and says, hey, why don't you come meet us down at the bar downstairs? There's a few of us getting together for drinks. And I'm like, oh, hell, I'll stick my head in the door, whatever. I got an early flight out. But, hey, it's kind of fun to catch up. So I came downstairs, and lo and behold, guess who was there at the bar? Helen Hunt. And that's when you start having these surreal moments. I am a used car salesman watching a guy wrap a Jeep, literally in the background, with flip-flops. And I'm standing next to an Oscar award-winning actress, an actress who has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, sitting there having a beer with me, just hanging out. And we're talking about the Netflix show, and the producer's on the other side of me. And I've got my good friend that I made down there. His name is Gilbert. He actually runs Star Central Studios. He was there. And, all these movers and shakers of El Paso right here at the bar. And we're talking. And then we get another interesting guy come up. And this guy has ties with Mexico, which we're right there at the border, and was talking about if you ever need to shoot anything into Mexico, I could make a call and make it happen, that type guy. And so that was an interesting conversation. And of course, Ellen Hunt, she's an older lady, so she broke off a little early and went to her room. But as the conversation went on, it's really interesting, actually. Just the things that were talked about, and I'm starstruck. I mean, and I know Helen Hunt's an older actress, and a lot of you guys are probably going to Google her. But this is just crazy that a car salesman from South Carolina is rubbing elbows with these people. And then my producer, Will, who I love Will. Will's probably the coolest California cat I know. Will says, now you want me to tell you something even crazier. He said, what's that? He said, do you realize that more people have seen your face in the last month than people have seen Helen Hunt's in the last 20 years? Millions upon millions upon millions of people. He goes, now let that sink in. And I mean, that's a crazy feeling. And, you got to understand the popularity of this show. We've got people that come by here every day. We've had 4 people this morning come by. And, that's kind of neat. I love when you guys come by and see us at the store. But what's crazier is when you're out places. El Paso, I was sitting there making a few phone calls, making sure everything was going good here. I'm on the phone. And I got people stopping me for selfies just walking down the street. And then it's like flying out. I had a 6 a.m. flight out of El Paso going back to Atlanta. And getting off the plane in Atlanta airport, it's lunchtime. And I'm walking through the airport. There's people giving me high fives. Like, it blows my mind. Man, I love the show. Hey, where's Scooter? Hey, are you coming back from Mexico? And all this stuff. Like, I love it. These guys are getting into this. And how this thing has really, really, really got some legs. And the thing that's even crazier is how big it's doing worldwide. It's not just in the United States. I mean, they're still talking about it being in top 10 lists, Iceland, Indonesia, all these different countries. I mean, it blows my mind every day I wake up. I have to pinch myself because of this. There's really no moral of the story, I guess. It's just, it's crazy. It's crazy that a guy that 4 years ago decided, hey, I'm going to start selling classic cars full time. I'm going to chase my dream. And a year before that, I was making YouTube videos with Ed Bullion. And before that, this is just a guy who had a radio show. You got to think. And just a little before that, I was a guy that ran a diesel truck shop. And now it's like, every weekend you're flying somewhere new because of this. And, I've got people reaching out now for SEMA this year. Hey, Rob, we want you in our booth. Or, hey, we need you to swing by here. We want you to speak here. And, it's crazy. I love it. It's fun being wanted, but it's overwhelming sometimes. It's kind of like, it's crazy. It's just insane, some of this stuff is. And, I know we haven't put a lot of effort in the channel here lately because the schedule's just been crazy. And I'll be honest with you, and I hate to sound like that guy, but I've been a little burnt out. And you got to understand, when I was filming a show for Netflix, that's unscripted television, that's reality TV, but you got a general direction you're going in, so you know what you're doing. Here, I wear all the hats, and it's a lot. I love talking to you guys, and I love talking to you guys about things that are relevant or sharing cool car stories with you guys, or, what Odd Rod's rapping, or what Kobe Kai's doing. But it's like, it's just nuts. It just blows my mind that this is my life now. Like right now, this is insane. Where are we going next? And that's the thing that's crazy. And we got a lot of fun stuff lined up that I can't share just yet. And I'm kind of sitting on my hands on that. But it's humbling. Like, thank you. Like I love this. It's really neat, that the guy that's in his t-shirt and shorts cleaning up shop today was rubbing elbows with stars day before yesterday, and was flying out to Miami to meet with vendors and going, to the UK and Vegas for SEMA and, Indianapolis, and just bouncing all over the place for these events to meet you guys. And I love it. I mean, that at the end of the day, it blows my mind that people stand in line to shoot the bull with me now. I love it. I do. It's a crazy, crazy, scary, fun experience for sure. I think my level of cool is not quite boy band yet, but we're right there. Like, 4 people asked me for a selfie. No one asked Helen Hunt for a selfie at the bar. So that was kind of a cool point a little bit. I don't know. Maybe that's why she left. But sorry, Helen. But you know what? I had a great time, and I can't wait to get back and produce some more content with Netflix. And hopefully we'll be sharing some of that with you here soon too. And also, another reminder, the podcast, which is going to be fire. And, I've got not only me on the mic, but we've got, some of my best friends, and probably, in my biased opinion, the coolest guys on automotive radio, Kobe Kai. We're going to bring Odd Rod in, and we're going to have a lot of fun bouncing back and forth, sharing some really fun stuff. Radio was my first love in all of this stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun to get back behind the mic and really, to me, like all these cameras and stuff are cool. It's neat, but I love radio. Radio is just so much fun, and the podcast is going to be killer. We got some great call-ins lined up, and it's going to be literally killer. And we're going to share with you all the spots to find that when we get a little bit closer in August. But anyway, guys, I just want to thank you. At the end of the day, like I said, there's no big, closer to this or anything. Thank you for helping me achieve way more than I ever thought I would. And I love you guys. We'll catch you next time at Rabbit's Used Cars. What's going on, guys? You want a little trade secret on where to find the best used cars around and the best deal on them? AutoBidmaster.com. Over 300,000 listings nationwide. You can search by make, model, or location. I tell you what, your old buddy Rabbit's gonna sweeten the deal up for you. I've got a 40% off discount code off registration or a premium membership. That's right, Rabbits23. Punch that in, get your 40% off. Check out AutoBidmaster.com. You'll thank me later.